class, 50 minutes. Make sure you have your chair, your weights if you're using them, your water bottle, any little cushions for the hips and bony protuberances and things. Yeah, make sure your air is on because we're about to get hot. Okay, standing up on your mat, wide, externally rotated position through the hips. We're getting into our turnout for that bar work. We reach up and over, long side body stretch. Fill the rib cage like an accordion's bellows. Lengthening, opening, reaching, and bring it up and over to the other side. Long side body stretch the other direction. Feel that nice opening. Breathe into it. Good. Bring it back up. We're going to roll down through the spine. One vertebrae at a time. Reach those hands to the floor. You can put a little bend in the knees here if you'd like. Hang over here. My dance teacher used to call this the heavy, heavy hangover. We're going to stay here, feel that stretch into the hamstrings, and then reach it over to one foot. Feel that lengthening across the back, through the hip, through the hamstrings. And then up and over to the other side. Feel that stretch. Nothing super forced right now, as you may have heard me say before. We're going to bend into one knee. So notice I really am trying to find my rotation through my hips here, just to keep the knees in alignment with the toes, and shift it over the other direction. Feeling the hip kind of getting an opening and a release. We're going to walk that side to side one more time, each direction. And when we get to this side, we're going to stay here, feel that stretch, feel that hip opener, and rotate into a lunge. So here we got this long heel reaching back while the forward knee is reaching forward, trying to separate those legs a little bit. Feel that opening stretch across the hips. I'm going to step that back leg in a little bit and lengthen my forward leg straight to get a little bit of a stretch into the hammy hams, those hamstrings. And then we'll slowly just kind of walk ourselves over the other direction. We may need to step that leg out, find that lunge again on the other side. Hips are separating from each other. The knees are shooting in opposite directions. Spine is long. If you need to set that knee down for any reason, do so. Step that back leg in a little bit. Stretch the forward leg straight. Feel that hamstring. It's waking up no matter what time of day you're in, if it's in the evening, if you've been to work or not, whenever you watch this. Just gotta wake up those muscles. Let's turn to face forward, and we're in a parallel position now through the legs and the hips. We bend the knees, we carefully roll that up. Take your time as you roll that up, just feeling the lengthening of all those muscles alongside the spine. They're called the erector spinae group. There's a set of muscles, and they just need a little extra stretch, you know? I'm sure you know what I mean. I'm sure you're feeling that. Okay, so I'm coming to my bar, taking a parallel position as I face it. Touch your feet side by side, just a little roll through with the feet. Bend the knees, lift the heels, stretch the legs straight, lower. I do this with every bar class. Bend, heels lift, legs lengthen, lower. As you're going through this, really start to think of kind of the head reaching in opposition of the heels so that we're creating some space between those intervertebral discs of our spine. We're going to bend, heels lift, and hold. One heel down, one heel up. just treading across that, feeling the arch, kind of stretching the little muscles through the toes, lengthening the change across the heels. Then both heels down, stretch those legs straight, rise up and lower down. Little elevate here. For me, it's just kind of a little, kind of get rid of the little pops, snaps, crackles, moving across the ankle joint. Whew. So it should just be getting warm through the ankles. Warm ankles. Finish that. We go to our externally rotated position. That's your turnout. So that when your knees are to bend, you see them going, hovering over your feet. So they're always in line with those toes. And then again, we bend the knees, lift those heels, lengthen the legs, and lower down. Repeat that bend. Find your bend. Heels rise, legs lengthen, and lower. I know, I have kind of a longer Achilles tendon. I can really bend and keep my heels down. Some people, they don't have that. Sometimes it's just like a much shorter bend. So everyone's gonna be different there. Then we come back to that bend, heels lift, hold that, one heel down, one heel up. Now the spine stays tall here. I'm not bouncing through it here, just feeling that stretch and movement through the feet. I really want your feet and your ankles to be nice and warm and juicy, and so that all this blood flow is going to move through it and we oxygenate and everything just moves wonderfully. Then heels, both of them down, lift and lower. Yeah, just because we do so much with barre with our feet. Oh, I forgot to say to get like any sort of glider. So that would be if you have a glider or like those little slider discs, they have different names. Get that. Or I hear a paper plate works. I've never tried that. I usually end up just doing like a dish towel. It's just sliding along the floor. So whatever, when we come to it, if you want to grab it now, of course, obviously you're gonna do what you want to do. I get to see you. So we're finished with that. Back to our first position. We're going to do 3 plies. When you do your plie, you're not going to let your bum stick out behind. You don't want this arch in the back. You're going to pull your pubic bone forward and stay tall in the spine. So here we are. 3, heels are down. 2, 1. Then we're going to go all the way up and then back down. 3, 2. This is kind of a loose demi. 1, all the way up, all the way down. 3, 2, getting into that, and rise, and 3, 2, 1, and up. One more. 3, 2, 1. Hold it up here. Stay with me. Find your balance. Just getting in to our legs and our hips, our balance and our core. Lower that down. Take it to your second position. You could turn around if you want it to be other arm. I just move my bar around because I can. 3, 2, 1. We go all the way up. Hold on to it. Yep. And 3, 2, 1. And rise. And 3. When you're in this, try to really find your rotation in your hips and up, so you're pulling your heels forward and not back. And 3, 2, 1, and up. Draw that pubic bone forward, hold on to it one last time. 3, 2, 1, up. Hold it here. Both arms up. Find that length. Lengthen the back of the neck here. Sometimes we sort of pull that forward. Pull that back. Top of the head reaching toward the sky. Tailbone reaching toward the floor to anchor you like a T-Rex dinosaur tail behind you. I don't know if you know what I mean, but it's okay if you don't. Release it out. Shake it out. Sometimes if you imagine your tailbone is actually a tail, like a tripod down, it kind of helps you anchor so that you have a little bit more stability. Try it sometimes. I know it sounds weird, but it's true. Imagery really takes us a lot far ways. Sorry, you guys, my words today, they're all over the place. So what we're gonna do here is our outside leg, we're gonna step it forward into a wide, this is a fourth position. So if I turn to the side, you just see both knees are bent. I'm gonna be my weight in between both of my feet there. We're gonna go forward, then we're gonna go side. I don't think I have space to go back actually. And then we're gonna go back. So I might get cut off a little bit here. So forward, side, and back. Forward, plieing, and back, and forward, and side, and back. One more, forward, and side, and back. Oh, I'm just kidding, forward, and side. Now this for sure is my last one. We're gonna bring it forward. I'm gonna reorient myself. So I've got a turnout through both of my hips. My weight is distributed evenly between both of my legs. And I'll lift my heels and pulse, and pulse. If your hip is, that's pulling on it, pull it more to your parallel. Pulse, and pulse. A little pulse. Oh boy, fill that through the legs. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretch it up. Awesome. We step it to the side. We bend into those knees and hips. I like to just do a little shaky shake to get it. Lift those heels and pulse. And pulse. You can bring both arms up and balance with it. If you have some music, I suggest you play it. We are almost there. We have 5, and 4, and 3, 2, 1. Let's rise up out of it. I don't think we did that last time. And shake it out, lower down. And we're going to take that leg behind. We're still in our external rotation. Check it, find it, plie. Lift those heels, we pulse, and pulse, and pulse. I just like to move my arm because it helps me get through these things. You don't have to. Whew. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rise up. Hold on to it. Abs are strong. Shoulders back. Lengthen the spine. Drop those hips down. And then bring it out. Okay. So other side. I know. You're like, oh, one side was enough. Here we go. So remember, you're in a wide fourth position, which just means you're stepping. It's like you're taking a step forward. Try to keep it so that your heels in that V shape. If you were to step forward, your heel is just straight out from where it was. Check your hip. Oh, so we plie here. We take it wide. Did I make enough space for myself behind? I don't know that I did. And back. So forward, side, push that, and back. And forward, side, and back. Keep that going. Point through your toes. Push through your feet. We have just a couple more. And last round. We're going to stay forward. Hold that there. I can actually scoot back a little. Find it. Lift those heels. We pulse. And pulse. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Yeah. Get low. My back leg is shaking. Whew. We have 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. We rise up. Hold it there. Find it. Check your hips. Try not to open them. Lower it down. Step it wide. Find your plie. Check your hips. Lift your heels and pulse. And pulse. But breathe. Try to keep those heels lifted. start to drop. 4, 3, 2, shake, you shakes. Take it up and hold it here. Breathe it in. Pull those pubic bones forward. And then shake it out. Then we go back. That leg is behind. We still find our rotation. Our hips are pointing in front of us like headlights. Weight is balanced. Rise up. I promise I'm not stalling. Little pulse. Little pulse. Breathing with it. Whoop. Find that balance. We have 5, 4, 3. We're almost there. 2, 1. Take it up. Hold on to it. Hips, abs, legs. Take it out. Okay, you guys. So I'm thinking probably the hips and the legs are feeling some good warmth. And we're going to take this down to the floor. All right. We're here on the floor. We're slowly going to roll that back. Hands with the shins. All the way down. You can kind of walk your hands down your legs. You come onto your back. Lovely. Then we're going to roll it up. You can bring your hands behind the head if you need to. Feel it up. All the way up. Good. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Find that length in the spine. And then hollow out the abs. Hands can slide along the legs to kind of walk you all the way down. If you need it, breathe it in. Breathe it out. Whew. All the way back up. Find that length. Hollow out. So I feel my hip bones are pulling, rolling back like my belly button's getting pulled through my spine to the floor, and that starts me up and down. Okay, we're going to stay down here, so that should just bring some nice mobility there. Bring your legs to your tabletop position. If you want to use your weights, grab your weights. Or you can be putting your hands behind your head, or one hand behind your head, one hand with weights. We are going to extend that out. Extend those legs out. Pull it in, draw it in, breathe it out. Taking this slowly here. So it's 2 parts. The legs and the arms separate from each other. Heel it up through the upper body. Keep your lower back in that imprinted position. Oh, it should just kind of feel like a nice wake up opener through the body here, because we are at the start of this. Gosh, we're not even at the start of this anymore. It's like, Don Martha, we're 20 minutes in, right? Almost halfway. So maybe that should be more than a warm up. Good. Now we're going to keep going here. You can continue to work into those arms. You could do a little bicep curl here. Excuse me, I just suddenly need to yawn. So you could do a little bicep curl. You could do a little single arm punch. You could go in opposition. If you need to support the head, you could just do one arm. Then do the other arm. Good. I'm going to set everything down. Weights, arms, upper body. Circle out those arms for a second. Good. So this next exercise, it's a little bit more complex, so part of me is like, oh, where are we trying this? But just because it's a good challenge on the abs, you start with your legs in a diamond shape. So your kind of heels or your toes are together. You make this negative space with that. Hands are at the knee there. We're going to heel up and extend the legs out. Straight legs, straight arms. Then we flex our feet, arms go overhead. We circle the arms as we circle the feet, so we've rotated. We point the toes, we lift them a little bit higher, and then we bring it all the way back down. Did you get it? First try, no big deal. So doing that again, focus on the legs here. So we peel forward, extend those legs out straight. Now the legs stay straight, we flex the feet. We rotate the hips, so we're in our external rotation. We point our toes, and then we bring it back in. So the legs are just staying straight and moving through rotation, point, plantar and dorsiflexion, if you will. So focus on the arms, the upper body this time. We flex that forward. Our arms circle overhead, and then out to the sides. We try to lift a little bit higher, and we lower it down. Alexa's just started talking to me. I don't know what's going on. So let's try that one more time so that we're balanced between the two. Hands at the shins. Breathe it out. Peel it off. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Lift a little higher. Inhale. Lower it down. Two more like this. I know I lie. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Circle it around. Lower it down. Should be feeling some good endurance in the abs here. Send that out long. Flex, reach, circle, rotate, lift, and return it in and lower it down. Okay, did that work for you? Did it help? Should I have done it so you could see my legs a little bit better? I'm just going to show you one more time, okay? Just one more time. Here's my diamond. Here's where my legs go straight. I flex, I rotate, I point, and I return back in. Okay. Woo, yeah, felt that. Okay, so move on from there so that you're on your stomach. Grab a cushion if you need a cushion. In that position on your stomach, it's like we're making an X shape. You know what? I'm going to grab a pillow. So come to an X shape on your stomach. Okay. Long arms, long legs, everything externally rotated, shoulders rolling back. Breathe it in. We're going to lift one arm, one leg off the mat there. Feel that activation in the glute here. Glutey, hammy hands. Breathe it in, lower it down. Other side. Long stretch, long reach. Check your shoulder. Drop that shoulder down so it's not all up in the earlobes. Point those toes, lower it down. Repeat that. Breathe it out. Breathe it in. Have just a little bit of a lift in the head here. And last time, this just kind of establishing that reach and trajectory. Okay, so here we lift both the upper and the lower. Everything is pointed, and we start paddling. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Inhale. Exhale. Can we get a little higher? Inhale. Exhale. One more round. In. Exhale out. Lower down. Pulling back into that child's pose. Just briefly stretching into that lower back. For me, this is clutch, as people like to say. It's really important for my lower back, because my lower back is a very tight lower back. Okay, so we come back to our same position with the legs. Our upper body is going to change. Now, we can add a weight to this if we want. Not necessary. So, I have both of my hands, they're kind of by the shoulders. And I'm going to press up into that lovely upward dog, thoracic extension. As I lower down, I'm going to send that weight out in front of me, bring it in, and lower it back down. So what is happening is I am taking that weight and lowering a single arm up and down. Yep. I just keep switching my weight, but you don't have to. Down and up. Let's just stay with one weight, one hand. Down and up. Let's do 3 more. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Shoulder dropping down. 2. Last one. We switch that weight over. Check the shoulders, check the spine, pull the abs tight. Repeat it. And up. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. And then everything lowers down. Again, pull it back. Find that child's pose, stretch it out. Okay. How does that feel? Does that feel pretty groovy? You have a tight back. Oh, it's just always good to be aware of what you're feeling in your body. Super importante. Okay, we are going to come to a plank position next. Now, in this plank position, I want to give you an option to kind of play around a little bit with it. So what I'm going to do, this is my little slider glider, and I'm going to have one foot on the glider. I have one foot on the mat. Lovely, right? So I'm just going to pull that knee to the outside and back. Outside and back. Outside and back. So I'm saying outside like the outside of the knee. 4, 5. Now this next time I can go full push up here, down, and up. That was terrible. Or I can lower my knee down, down, and back to the plank. Hopefully that made some sense. I'm going to switch my feet around. Sometimes I set myself up for things and I'm like, oh yeah. So pull that knee to the outside elbow, press it back. 2, 3. Some of you have the strength to do that full push-up. So feel free to do that full push-up and come back to it. Pull those hips back, stretch it out. I don't even want to know what that looked like to you guys. But we'll come back to it. I gotta give my wrists a little chill time because they're not the wrists that they were when they were 20 years younger. Okay, so I'm putting a little cushion down for my forearm for this next one. Then we are going to be doing some side body lifting. So find that position. Either you have straight legs or your bottom knee is down, okay? So find that. Lovely. Now the goal here is going to be to lift and lower the top leg up and down. So you can do that with the knee down. It's a little bit easier. Or you can go straight leg. You're right on that side of the foot. Ooh, yeah. Awesome. Hold on to that. Just stay, stay, stay. And then we're going to thread under and then bring it back up. Now, if you're on your knee, you might not get as much range as if you are on your feet. You can kind of rotate those hips a little bit. Whoa. Don't slide. And come back. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. And then everything's going to come down. And good thing it is. Okay, so other side. Finding that side body position. Checking in on the shoulders here. Long legs or bent knee. Find it, lift it, and we lift the leg. 5. Good. 4. 3. 2. Woo. 1. Nice. Now set yourself up. We're going to thread through that. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. That side was definitely easier for me. And now I'm wondering if I've forgotten something. Okay, come back to your bar. So we're standing upright again. Quick sip. I feel like am a slow-moving vehicle today, guys. Sorry if you're feeling that too. Okay, so first position, we're going to step it out wide to our second position, and then we're going to lift it up to our passe, down, plie, wide, second, rise, whoa, falling over. Try not to do that. That was in poor form. Plie to our second, and up, and down, and second, and up, almost there, 2, and out, and up, last 1, 2, out, up, we hold here, rise, and lower, lifting in the heel, take it out, up, and down, up, 2 more, we go, 1 more, hold it here, extend it out, and back in, out, and back. We are on the ball of our foot. Woo! Try not to fall. Good, we're gonna go to the side, and back, and side, and front, out, and back, and out, and front. Oh my, I did that wrong. To the front, and to the back. Stay on the ball of the foot. I just have to rotate and reach and return. Out and back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. How does your standing leg feel? Okay. So we start again, other side. Check out the shoulders, move through the hips, all that good stuff. Find your second position. Tall and spine. We start with our plie, first position, second position, passe, the heels down, heels are down, and up, and plie, and out, and up, a couple more. Good, then we're gonna stay here. We're rotated. We're lifting through the heel now. Up and down. 5, 4, oh yeah, 3, 2, I just laugh at myself sometimes, guys. 1, stay up, take it out, and back, and out, and back. Breathe with it. We have 3 more. I'm getting a little bit of a foot cramp. 2, no big deal. 1, we're gonna go to the side, take it out, and in, and out, and in, whoo, out, and back, out, and back. 2 more, to the front, to the back. Good, if you need to rotate, rotate, find it, whoop, take it back, and in. Stay lifted if you can. Breathe it out. 3 more. 2. And 1, and down. Woo. Okay, ankles. Yes. Did you feel your ankles? I felt my ankles. Okay, quick sip. Now we move on to just a slightly different thing. I'm just going to pull that forward, make sure we have some space. Here, you could have your hand down on your chair here for better support of your back. If you have a lot of range in your back, you might be able to keep yourself lifted. Everyone's going to be different. We're going to lift and lower. I should say we're in our externally rotated position. That's that ballet first position. We lift and lower. Engage in your abs. Try to relax through the arms, which, speaking of, you could add a little bit of movement with your arm. Oh, I can't forget the glider exercise. I almost forgot about it, you guys. 2, whoop, and 1. Nice. Then we're going to hold that up. Little pulse, pulse, pulse. Breathe it out. Oh yeah. Now I'm going to take my leg out to the side So let's point to you. Now you can have your knee bent or straight, and you're gonna lower it down and lift it up. Lower and lift. Breathe it in, breathe it out. From the side, if you can see that. Ooh, just opened up my hip. That's what that looks like from the side. 2 more. 1 more. We do the other side. We gotta turn around. And we start that all over again. So remember, we're going up and down, right? Lengthen and reach. Breathe it out. Breathe it in. I'm trying not to put a ton of pressure into my arm on the chair here. So I'm still engaging into the core. 2 more. 1 more. We're gonna hold it, lift, and lift, and lift. It's a party. Separate the legs. We have 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we bring it in. Whew. Roll it out, shake it out. We go to the side for this next one. We're lifting and lowering. Breathe it out. Breathe it in. Oh yeah. We have 5 more people. 4 more. 3 more. 2. Last one. And there is my AC unit. Thank you. Okay. We need a little bit of cardio in our lives. Did you think I was going to sing Mambo number 5 a little bit? No, I would not do that. That's not my style. Okay, so second position, that's our wide stance. Externally rotated. I'm stalling here. And I admit it freely. Knees over the toes. Arms can be out, they can be to the hips. We're going to plie, rise up onto the ball of the feet. If you're doing this without any air time, this is what it looks like, yeah? If you're doing with air time, here we go. We're hopping, we're breathing, we're going. Woo. Try to stay tall in the spine. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we bring it in. This is not my favorite part. Now we're going to step it to the side, step it behind. So we take some weight onto that foot and just lift that forward foot a little bit. Side, transfer your weight, shift. Step, shift it back, forward, out, out. This is sort of our balancing. Oh, lovely, ladies and gentlemen. We're leaping side to side. We're going to try to point those toes. Woo. Oh, mine are getting smaller. Reach up and over. 2 more. Last one. Okay, yeah. Yeah? Yeah for you too? Oh my gosh, you guys. Can't forget our gliders. I'm gonna move. I'm not for this. Yep. Then I have my chair here just as a little balancer. One foot is on the glider, obviously one foot is not. We slide back to a lunge. We draw that forward. Pull those thighs together. Take that back. Draw it forward. Weight options, my people. And back. And forward. Maybe you don't even need that chair. Maybe you have 2 weights in your hands. You guys are just rock starring it. 2 more. Last one. And we're going to take that back. We're going to lean forward. So notice my chest slightly forward. Heel in alignment with the top of the head. Bend and extend here. Bend and extend. Forward leg stays in the bend. Feel it. Just lean into that. We have 3, 2, 1. We're going to draw that leg back. Lift the chest up so we're shoulders over the hips. Lift that forward heel. There's something setting a little rock. Lift the forward heel, sorry. And then little pulse. And pulse. And pulse. Yeah, right? Not too shabby. Let's go for 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch it out. Other side, shall we? Find that. Switch it up. We take that back and up. So the stretch across the front of the hip, the long lengthening, the pulling from the hips and the thighs. If you need to switch up your arm, do something different, feel free. You could do a little row. You could do a little tricep. You could do a little lift out to the side. 2 more. Little open. Last one. We hold that there. Lean it forward. Bend and extend. Long spine. Relax. Maybe you have your 2 weights here. Breathe in with it. Get deep into that standing leg. Feel the booty. 2, 1. We draw that back. We're nice and tall. Forward heel is up. We pulse and pulse and pulse. Breathe it out. Breathe it in. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done there. Okay, no more glider. No more chair. No more weight. Okay, we want to hop it, jump it. I'm going to reset my mat. We're going to do another round of cardio. So prepare yourself, my bar fiends. Okay. Nice deep breath in. Wide stance, we're going to do the harder one first because it's just get it out of the way, right? Arms wherever you want them. Here we go. Hop it out. Reach. Reach. I'm trying to point my toes. Push off the floor. We only have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go right into this hop side to side. Up. It doesn't matter if it's not the most beautiful. We are not the bullshit ballet. But we are trying to move our bodies. And that is the point that makes us rock stars, yeah? I'm calling myself a rock star today. Breathe it out, breathe it in. 8 more. 7, 6, 5. Can you point those toes? Get a little higher. 3, 2, 1. Oh! Ooh, yeah. Okay. How do you feel? We have about 5 minutes left. We're going to come to the floor. We are going to do some stretching, but first. Okay, first we have to come to my favorite senior portrait position from the 90s. Palm up, knees bent, 1 down. Your feet are going to root themselves on the floor. You're going to press your legs straight. Your shoulder is going to shift over that wrist and then bring it back in. Whew. Breathe it out. Long side body and return. 3 more. Up and down. 2 more. Up and down. Oh my goodness, 1 more we have. I'm just remembering that we were going to come back to that plank. I said, we'll come back to this. And then we didn't. I always do that. I have all of these ideas about what we're going to do. And then I can't fit it all in. 4 more. Breathe it out. Breathe it in. 3 more. 2. Last 1. Good. So grab your rider. Come to your plank. Find that position. Long plank. We pulled it in to the elbow. Breathe it out. 3, 2, 1. Add your push-up to it. I'm going to do an extra push-up here because I just feel so strong. Good. That was 3. That was good. Turn it around. Find your plank again. Whatever it is, wherever you're at. So you can hold on to that. Pull it in. And out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Add your push-up. I'm widening my stance here. And up. 1 more. Good. And everything comes in to relax. You did it. We stretch. Well done. I'll just leave that over there. If you want to, with the stretches, grab a band or a sweatshirt or a towel or a belt. Lower down to the mat. Send 1 leg up. Now, if you your heart rate is high, you know, and you're like needing to be upright, then come upright so the head is above the heart there. We don't want to get lightheaded. And it's okay if we do the stretch here like this. You could even do the standing if you need just a little bit more space for the lungs to expand. Take some deep breaths here. And if you are feeling like, okay, I can be on my back, then great, be on your back, no big deal. Just gotta find the right place for us. And us is you, and you are different. So you gotta listen to your body. We take the leg across the midline, feel that outer thigh, glute, hip, stretch it out. I had all intentions as I started this class to be teaching a mat class today, and then I remembered as I reviewed my schedule, no, I'm teaching a barre class today. So everything changed at the last minute. So, happy barre. Feel that stretch, that outer thigh stretch. Lengthen into it. Give it that tug. We gotta switch to the other leg so we can get all our stretches in. Feel the back of the leg there. Boy, is that tight for me. So tight. Then we draw it across the midline of the body. Feel that stretch. Breathing into it, trying to really release the hip. Think of gravity, just giving into gravity. Relaxing fully. And last round, take that leg out to this side. Remember that you want to spend about 20 seconds in each position. Really feel that opening through the hip, through the thigh. The musculature needs time to just relax. And you'll see that you have more space when you do relax. Okay, If you have more time, stay, stretch for longer. For me, I gotta go. I gotta move on to the next thing. So I will see you guys all very soon. Much love to you. Take care.